Hello, and welcome back to my channel and to another mod review. I'm excited to introduce you guys to a new mod video today. It's been a few months since I've shown off a mod on my YouTube channel, so I thought today I could showcase one that I think you guys will like. You may be familiar with this mod if you've seen any of my other videos on my channel, as I've used it for a while now, just in my game on the daily basically. I took it out for a little bit, but I added it back recently, and I highly recommend it and suggest it for those who use, especially if you use lots of modded traits, and just in general, if you often feel like your Sims don't have enough slots for traits, this mod can help with that. So the mod that we're going to be looking at today is called the More Traits in CAS mod by The Pancake One and Mizorayuki on Patreon. We will be going over what this mod does as well as an overall description of it in this video. As usual, of course, I'll always have any relevant links and information in the description below for you guys, so you can easily find it and download it and use this mod in your game as well. So I hope you guys find it useful and informative. I'm doing my best to list and compile all the information that you'll need for this video. This video itself is not just an explanation of how to install mods, but we're just going over the mod itself, what it does in your game, that kind of thing. But before we get into the content, I would greatly appreciate it if you could give the video a little like, perhaps. And maybe subscribe if you're enjoying the content, as it really helps support the channel grow. Also, if you're looking for any other mod reviews or other mods in general, I have a whole playlist with all of the mod reviews and showcases that I've done on my channel, which you can find above in the cards, which has my whole mod review playlist at your convenience. So if you want to check that out, that would be cool. And then aside from mod reviews, I also have other Sims content on my channel, like Let's Plays, challenges, and I do a lot of CAS videos, and CC hauls is another thing that I do sometimes. So be sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications to get updates when I upload a new video. And as always, if you have any mods that you are interested in seeing me review on the channel, always feel free to comment them below, and I would love to check them out. I'm always looking for new mods. I'm a mod fanatic. So yeah, now we can get into the review. This mod is a great addition to any one Sims game, especially if you like giving your Sims more personality by allowing them to have more than 3 traits. This has always been a personal, kind of pet peeve of mine with The Sims 4, and I know it bothers a lot of other people as well. Just the fact that you really don't have many traits to choose from in the overall, and then you're also limited to just picking 3 traits, which is why I feel like a lot of times if there's any kind of mod that people are drawn towards, it tends to be modded traits, as well as the ability to give your Sims more traits, because that's something that is definitely lacking in The Sims 4. Unfortunately, there's really not a lot of traits in the game itself, and then there's very few slots for your Sims to be able to actually have traits. And as someone who really loved The Sims 3, that has always been a huge letdown. I remember I was so just baffled when we were told that we were only getting 3 traits. It just didn't make any sense to me as someone who really loved The Sims 3. And how many traits it allowed for you to have. So it really sucks that in this one you can only have at max 3 traits for your adult Sims, as well as the fact that there's really only a few actual traits in the game itself, and you occasionally get new traits with bonus content or with DLC, but that's not kind of rare, honestly. And yes, while The Sims 3 definitely was a little rough, especially the graphics. I like to play The Sims 3 a lot on my own time, and it's a little rough. It doesn't always look the greatest, even having the graphics really high in my settings. But honestly, I loved it anyway, and in my opinion, it's probably one of my favorite of all the games in the franchise, if only for the fact that the personality of your Sims are very I don't know, very vibrant, I guess, or they really come across. A lot more in The Sims 4, where unfortunately Sims are a little more flat, But at least with this mod, I feel like it helps with like storytelling, with like character creation, which is my favorite thing to do in The Sims, is just creating Sims. Like, not necessarily even playing with them, although I like that too, but just like actually making them, coming up with storylines. I think that's really fun, and it's kind of hard to pick traits and like assign personalities when you are so limited. So I feel like I always end up making like very similar kinds of Sims with the same couple of traits, because there's really not a ton. And while Sims in The Sims 4 can have more, technically they can have more than 3 traits, through bonus traits from the reward store, or traits from aspirations, and so on and so forth. But when you create a Sim from the start, you are really limited, unlike in The Sims 3 where you had a few more options for your Sims, in both the amount of traits, and then the amount of traits that you could choose from, and then the number of traits you could assign to your Sim overall. But with this mod, you can now have more traits per Sim. So what I personally really like about this trait mod is it actually changes the user face, or the UI, in the game itself. So it adds the ability to add up to 5 traits for your Sim while you're in CAS. So it's not just like a cheat. Like I've played with other mods or cheats that allow you to give your Sims more traits. This one, in my opinion, is the most effective and simplest mod that I've seen, as far as I know. It makes it really easy to give your Sims more traits, just like in the game itself, and like a lot of times you have to do weird cheats to add extra traits, and it's just not as easy. It's usually a little bit more of a hassle. So I would definitely recommend this mod if you like giving your Sims extra traits. It's definitely a great addition. Also, considering that this mod is all about giving your Sim more trait slots, I'm also working on another mod review for modded traits, like traits themselves. So I'm compiling a list of some modded traits that I've found, that I will share hopefully soon. Hopefully I'll have that video finished in the next like week or so. So be sure to look out for that video. So we're going to be looking on the Patreon page and reading the description of what this mod does. Like I said earlier, you can find the More Traits in CAS mod on their Patreon by clicking the link in the description below. So it should be down there, the very first thing. So also, this mod is free to download as well, so anyone can use it. You don't have to actually pledge to their Patreon. It's public, so anyone can download it. So, but we're gonna jump in the description. The mod description goes as follows. Have you ever wished your Sims could have more than 3 traits? Perhaps there wasn't enough room for all of your desired ones, and the limitations of the base game forced you to narrow it down to 3 again, leaving you conflicted at the menu. Introducing More Traits in CAS. Now your Sims can have up to 5 different traits, giving your Sims the possibility to have more depth and personality before. With this Sim, your Sim can be a loner, clumsy, a dog lover, and a vegetarian. So basically, the mod allows for your Sims to have more trait slots, which include additional slots for teens, children, and toddlers. The number of slots that each age group can have includes, for young adults or older, they can have up to 5. Teens have 4. Children have 3, and then lastly, toddlers have 2. So all of the age groups get at least 1 bonus trait. So then I wanted to go into some important things to note about this mod if you're going to download it. This is also on the Patreon page itself, so you can read through all that just to make sure that if you download it, it's not going to mess with your game. But in short, the mod is base game compatible. So that means basically you don't need any other packs or DLC. You just need the base game, just The Sims 4 itself, and then you're fine. So, you also do not need to fill all the slots if you don't want to. So if you don't want to give every single Sim 5 traits, you don't have to. It will let you only pick a normal amount of traits. It also doesn't fill up the trait slots for pre-existing Sims unless they age up or are manually changed. So basically none of your townies are gonna have 5 traits unless you manually give them more traits, or if they're like a child age up to a teen, it'll give them an extra trait, that kind of thing. But otherwise, it won't really change anything. There's also a list of mods that conflict with this mod, so be sure to read through all the mods that conflict. Other than that though, no other UI mods like UI cheats or more columns in CAS will or shouldn't conflict, and then all regular mods won't cause any issues. So you can very easily download this, use it with other mods, and you'll be fine. So as I mentioned earlier, and as you will see when we actually go into game, when you use this mod, it extends the trait bar in CAS and lets you select extra traits for your sim. So if you want to use this mod on a pre-existing sim or household, you have to edit them using the CAS.full edit mode cheat. It is also compatible with all custom traits as long as they're up to date after the new Snowy Escape update. So any old custom traits were broken after that update. So just make sure that if you download any custom traits for The Sims 4, make sure that they have been updated since that Snowy Escape update. Otherwise, they will not work in your game, and they will often conflict with stuff. So now that we went over all of that, those, after we're done going over the description, we can go into the game itself, and I will show you guys how this mod actually changes the UI in action. As I said, this mod gives your sim the ability to have additional traits, and it makes it very simple on the part of the player. So you're able to do all of this through CAS itself. But yeah, so this is my sim self, and as you can see, I have 5 traits, but I could replace that with maybe, I don't know, mean. I could be mean, I don't know. Or I can be outgoing. As you can see, you can have up to 5, and then depending on your age, you'll have less options, obviously. But like with teen, for example, I only have 4, so I could do good. I could be a loner. So this is a really good mod for those of you who love adding more traits to your Sims. So highly recommend it. Super fun. So in short, that's going to conclude today's video and mod review. It's pretty short, but I just thought I'd make a little review showing off this mod because I really do like it, and I think it's a great addition to anyone's game. Also, before we end, I do want to give a huge shout out to the creators of this mod who did an absolutely fantastic job. Be sure to check out their Patreon and look at their other creations, anything else that they've done. Be sure to show them some love, much appreciated, and I really appreciate them making this amazing mod. They did a great job. So, and also thank you so much for watching this video, and as always, I hope you all have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you guys again for another video and more Sims related content.